Now are two authors who've written books about the Tata Group. Peter Casey, author of The Story of Tatas from 1868 to 2021, also an entrepreneur himself in Ireland. Also joining us is Girish Kuber, editor of Lok Sakta. Girish has authored the book The Tatas, How a Family Built a Business and a Nation. Peter and Girish, many thanks for joining us on the program today. 48 hours after the passing of Ratan Tata, the Tata Trust have decided to appoint Noel Tata as the chairman of the Tata Trust. This, of course, also has context in the fact that after the amendment of the Articles of Association, post the Cyrus Smith 3 boardroom battle, the same individual cannot be the chairperson of Tata Sons and Tata Trust. In a way, while Noel Tata has been an insider, an old-timer, a Tata lifer, this is a new innings for him. Peter Casey, let me start by asking you for your first reaction.
I think Noel will be an exceptional chairman of the Tata Trust. I believe that I've met Noel quite a few times, and he has the same sort of humility and passion as Ratan, and a little bit. Well, actually, Ratan, of course, was very quiet and, almost shy at the time, But I think it's a perfect alignment of the values of Tata, and I'm sure Noel will continue to represent everything that Tata stands for.
Yes, a perfect alignment there as Noel Tata takes charge as chairman of the Tata Trust. Girish, your thoughts as this new era begins. I mean, Ratan Tata was at the helm for over 2 decades, steered this disparate set of companies to make it a much more cohesive conglomerate. As the Noel Tata innings begins, your thoughts?
I think there are 2 points I would like to underline. One is obviously it will be, as Peter said, continuation of values. The personality is the same, the traits are the same, the qualities are the same. So that's one. And secondly, I mean, I'm looking at the media and the reaction and who is Noel Tata and everything. This exactly the same thing happened in 1991. When JRD was to relinquish the charge, and young and not so known Ratan Tata was taking charge of the conglomerate. So I think there is a similarity in that reaction also. And as we all know, Ratan Tata proved everybody wrong. I'm sure Noel also will do the same, And that's the beauty of the Tatas. When they're at the helm, the person at the helm always gets a focus, and someone next in line is not known. He is away from the limelight, and at the right time he comes at the center stage. That's exactly has happened.
Yes, that is how it has played out, and you're right in pointing out that many similarities between the two in the fact that they choose to remain away from the public eye, fly under the radar, and yet have had an enormous impact. But Peter Casey, speaking of impact, and while, the media is focusing on who Noel Tata is, let's take a look at what Noel Tata has been able to do across the many companies within the Tata Group that he is steering forward. I mean, we were just taking our viewers through the kind of meteoric rise Trent has seen under Noel Tata's stewardship. So while we may not know too much about him because he chooses to stay away from the limelight, the business impact is significant.
It is, and the philanthropic impact of Tata has just expanded astoundingly. And it is actually, I think, one of the untold secrets. People don't realize that Tata Sons is obviously controlled by the Tata Trusts. Tata Trust, of course, it's now the largest philanthropic organization in the world. It's the most amazing blend of entrepreneurship and philanthropy. So I mean, and I said in the book, it really is the perfect citizen. It makes great returns for its shareholders. It makes gives back to society. And really it looks after their employees, so it's, we're living in a world of, a lot of corporate greed and a lot of lack of ethics in a lot of businesses you hear going on. And Tata embodies everything that, a perfect company should be: give back to society and create entrepreneurial activities and look after their employees as well. Yeah.
You're right in pointing that out, Peter, and this is something that we have been discussing and talking about. And Girish, let's address that issue, this unique structure that the Tatas operate within, you know, the Tata Trust controlling Tata Sons, which is really sits in the middle of the philanthropic arm as well as the listed entities. And would you say that, in fact, post that bitter boardroom battle with Cyrus Mistry, the new governance norms that have evolved, ensuring that there isn't the same person at the helm of Tata Sons and the trust, will in fact hold this structure in better stead for the future?
I think one angle we should consider. This is exactly in the current business context and on a business channel. I know it will be politically incorrect or irrelevant, but this is exactly the model Gandhi had proposed. The trusteeship, an enterprise, the corporate should be controlled by a trust, and that's exactly is happening. And barring Cyrus Mistry episode, it has worked so far very well, and I'm sure after the Cyrus Mistry episode, they must have learned quite a few lessons, you know, and then it will be back to usual before, like what happened before Cyrus Mistry episode. I don't see any conflict. You know, there is something beautiful Tata-ness about the whole structure, and that will continue.
Well, speaking of this Tata-ness, and, you know, I'm glad that you brought up the idea of trusteeship. I think we need to talk more about that. We need not just conscious capitalism, but compassionate capitalism as well, you know, given the state of the world today and the rising inequality that we're all witness to. But Peter, you know, you said that you have had the occasion to meet Noel Tata, spend time with Noel Tata, but, you know, he takes charge at a time where the world is in a geopolitical flux. There is immense amount of volatility, but India's place within the world has also risen. The Tata Group is much more diverse today. You know, of course, it has always been diverse, but much more diverse, and taking bets on new areas like semiconductors, etc. What do you believe will be the opportunities and challenges that Noel Tata encounters?
Well, I think Ratan, so when I asked him that question, where does he see the big opportunity? And he said this to me 10 years ago. He said artificial intelligence is going to be the complete game changer, you know, and of course, he was, as usual, Ratan was right. It is a complete game changer. I mean, I think there's amazing opportunities to just change the quality of life, everything from medical research to making the earth a cleaner, better place, more efficient. But I think having an organization like Tata at the helm, Tata Sons, which is obviously controlled by the philanthropic trusts. I mean, it's, the largest shareholder in Tata Sons, of course, is, obviously the trust. And as I say I wish Tata would explain that a little bit better to more people out there. I mean, I say to my friends, when you buy a Jaguar, you're contributing to charity. You buy. So it's that's the beautiful thing about the whole Tata story. That message that we need to get out there, that it is possible to be, a compassionate capitalist. It's absolutely nothing wrong about making money. Noel has demonstrated that with the amazing results that he's had with Trent. And I'm sure, if you look at what Trichy is doing at TCS, like TCS is now, a $30 billion business. When we started working alongside, they were doing it like about 300 million. So it's, it's just one of the most amazing success stories. The way that Ratan was able to guide it. And I'm sure Noel will carry on that guidance along with Chandra.
Yes, that is the combination at the helm, and Chandrasekaran as the chairman of Tata Sons, and now Noel Tata as the chairman of Tata Trust. And that's an interesting way that you put it, that people don't actually realize that if you're buying a Jaguar or you're buying a cup of coffee, Starbucks coffee, you're actually also contributing to the trust and to the philanthropic side of the Tatas. But Girish, on the Noel Tata innings, and I think Vallabh Bhansali speaking to me a short short while ago kind of summed it up very nicely. He said you have to look at businesses and choices that leaders make in the context of the times that they live in. And when Ratan Tata took over in 1992, he essentially had to pull together these ostensibly disparate businesses with disparate leaders and bring this conglomerate together. The conglomerate is together. It is one Tata today. As you see Noel Tata spearheading the group forward, what do you believe will have to be some of the things that he may want to do as he looks at the future?
So the most interesting aspect is things are much more favorable to Mr. Noel Tata than what they were for Mr. Tata in 1991-92. I heard Peter talking about the semiconductor. I mean, when Ratan Tata was with his mother in US when she was undergoing treatment, he prepared a note. It's a bit lengthy note where Tata should be going and looking forward. So some of the areas he had talked about was nanotechnology, the semiconductor, the oil exploration, the aviation, and things were not so smooth for him when he took over because there were many satraps and the powerful guys, and they were controlling their own empires. So things are much more easier for Noel Tata to take it forward to whatever areas he must be thinking about. And this is actually a wonderful opportunity compared to Mr. Ratan Tata. Things were much more challenging for him than Mr. Noel.
Combination.
Absolutely. He leaves behind a conglomerate. Yes, Peter, go ahead.
I was just saying, I think it's a very exciting and it's a perfect combination, Noel and Ratan, Noel and Chandra. I mean, Chandra is such a call to action to really performance enhance businesses and really drive them, whereas Noel will have a chance now to sit back and plot the strategy and work, in giving sort of strategic guidance as to the direction that Chandra will execute on. So Chandra's the ultimate executor. If you look at what Chandra did with TCS along with Ramadurai, and what he's done since he's taken over Tata Sons. So I think it's going to be it's a perfect combination, I think, for Tata.
A terrific combination, and you were talking about N. Chandrasekaran as his contribution to TCS, and I think it was R. Gopalakrishnan who, while speaking to me, called TCS the credit card for the Tatas, a credit card that they very wisely used over the years, given the kind of value and wealth that TCS has generated, not just for shareholders, but for the House of Tatas. Peter Casey and Girish Kuber, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Many, many thanks for joining us here on CNBC TV 18 with your take on the Noel Tata innings that starts now at Tata Trust and Tata, the House of Tatas. We will head into a break, but when we return, there's a lot more coming up. Don't go anywhere. We're back in a moment.